In this video, we will going to take up one more Python program, how to find out the largest number in a list without using a function. So first, we will define a small function. Here, the one what we are talking about, the largest number in a list without using a function. So that means it is a standard function which is already existing in the Python. But now we are defining a small function which is min and max. That means we want to find out the minimum and the maximum number in a list which is entered by the user. Initially what we will going to take is the first value in a list will be considered as minimum, and then comparing, then we want to check whether a number is existing in the list. For A in num, what is the num? Num is the number which is entered in a list. If the number is what you have is less than the minimum, that means in a list, in each list which contains the number of values, consider comparing every value with the minimum value. If it is less than minimum value, then minimum is equal to A. That means that number will going to be becomes minimum value. Print the minimum value in a list which is minimum. Similarly, I want to find out for a maximum value the same thing. Max is equal to num0. For A in num, if A is greater than max, max is equal to A, then print the maximum value in the list. Now we want to write a main program. So this is about the function which we are writing a small program, subprogram, which will going to be executed. These are the block of codes in a subprogram. Now we will go for the main program. First we will going to consider n equals int input, enter the length of the list. Here the input is always in Python is considered to be a string, and we are converting that string value into an integer by using the in function. And then we are creating an empty list because the user has to enter the values, and then we need to append those values into an empty list. So the empty list is called by the num. So that is what we are using, num0. That is the empty list which you are containing the variable containing the elements in the list. Initially we are considering that as an empty list, which is num equals within and open and close square brackets. Then for I in range n, how many number of elements we are entering, that number will going to come here. Suppose if you are entering 5, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it is 10, 0 to 9. So that the total number will going to become 10. Then element, I want to enter the elements. Which are all the elements? int input, enter the elements. The elements which you are entering, you will going to be always considered to be an integer value. So you are considering that as an integer by converting that string into an integer by using the in function. After that, what I need to do, this element has to be appended into a num list. So for that, we are calling the variable name of the list, which is num dot. Then you have a function which is predefined function which is append, and what I want to append, I want to append the elements which you are entered here has to be appended to where? To the num. That num list is here, which is the empty list. Once you do that, then print list of elements or comma num. So the list of whatever it is there in the codes, that will be displayed directly in the output, or num. What is num here? The num what you have is the list which containing these elements. Now we will going to see how the output will going to come. So the output is, so now we are calling the function min and max. So once you do that, how exactly this will going to be behaved. Then the output is here. First you are entering. So first when you run the program, initially what happens? Initially the cursor will going to come to this point. Then after seeing this definition of the function, So it will going to skip all these codes and then come to this num input int input, enter the length of the list. That is what you are going to get the list display. Whatever it is there in the codes which will going to be displayed here. So since the element which I want to enter is through the keyboard, so once you enter this 5, so enter, then the cursor will going to come to this. So what it does is the number will going to be the name of the list, variable name, which will going to have an empty list. Then for I in range n, so what is n value here? The n value is 5. So for I in range 5, so then what it does, it will going to check the value. Is 0 is less than 5? Yes. Then int input, enter the elements. So it will comes into this loop, then enter the elements. So you will going to get to enter the element. The cursor will be blinking here. So you need to enter the value through the keyboard. So once you enter through the keyboard, so it will going to be come to this, then num.append element. Once you execute this, what happens? This 20 element will going to be appended into this list. That is what you can see here. The element is 20 here. Then again it goes back and takes the value of 1 because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the values it will going to take. Is 1 is less than 5, the condition is true. Then enter the elements, you enter 1. Once it comes to this, again this is appended to 1. Then again it goes back and takes the value to 2. So then enter the elements, so it comes to this, you enter 25. Then it will comes to this num.append element. The element which is 25 is appended here. Then again enter the elements. So again it goes back, checks the value of 3. N is equal to I is equal to 3. Then 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So here, so element will be enter the element 45. Then it is appended. So you're going to get 45. Then again it goes back and takes the value to 4. Is 4 is less than 5, condition is true. Then it will going to enter the elements 100. Then again it goes back, takes the increment as 5. Is 5 is less than 5, condition is false. Then it comes out of this, print the list of elements are. The list of elements are, then it will call the variable name now. So once it sees that whatever the value which is appended, that is 20, 125, 45, and 100 will going to be displayed here. So this is how this function will go into work. So once you take the list of the elements, then it comes to the min and max. So what it does, again it goes back to this element and try to execute this as full. Now we will going to see how it will going to be done by using the tracing. That is what we have shown. So first enter the length of the list is 5. Is n is equal to 5? Yes. Num is an empty list now. Because for I in range n is equal to 5. So I in range 5, I is equal to 1. It will have 0. Then it increments to 1. 1 plus 1 it becomes 2. 2 plus 1 becomes 3. 3 plus 1 becomes 4. Is 4 plus 1 becomes 5. Is 5 is less than 5? No. So it comes out. So initially it takes the value of I is equal to 0. If 0 is less than 5, condition is true. Then element, it will comes to that next line. Element, enter the elements. So what you want to enter? I want to enter the element first value as 20. So the num.append element will be 20. So where it will going to be appended? Appended to num. The num is the variable and this is the list which containing 5 slots because n is equal to 5 here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first it will going to be appended to the element for I is equal to 0. Therefore, here in 0's position, you will going to get 20. Then what happens? Again, it takes the value of I, increments the value of I by 1. So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. Is 1 is less than 5. Condition is true. Then it comes into the loop again. Element is equal to, enter the element that is equal to 1. Then num.append element is, the 1 is entered in where I is equal to 1. Where is I is equal to 1? That 0 is shifted to here, the 1 will going to come here. So 1 will going to be appended, that is the second element. Then again, when I is equal to 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, is 2 is less than 5, the condition is true. Element, enter the element. Now I want to enter 25. So num dot append element, where this will going to be entered, that is I is equal to 2. You can see in 2, the appended element is 25. Always you remember, the append will going to append the value to the last element in the list. The last element in the list always. So then this 0 is shifted here, 1 is comes here, and 2 will going to be here. Similarly, when I is equal to 2 plus 1, it becomes 3. Then 3 is less than 5, the condition is true. Element is equal to, enter the elements, that is 45 I am entering here, num dot append element. So what happens in 3, I is equal to 3, the value is appended to 45. Again, when I is equal to 3 plus 1, it becomes 4, is 4 is less than 5, the condition is true. Element is equal to, enter the elements, I want to enter 100. So 100, when you enter num dot append, that in I is equal to 4, you will going to have an element of 100. Then what happens? So all the elements in the list is entered now. Then will it comes out of the loop? No. Again it goes to the, when I is equal to 4 plus 1 is 5, is 5 is less than 5, the condition becomes false. Then only it comes out of the for loop. It comes out of the for loop, and then you have the last value, that last block or the last executable statement is print the list of elements are. So what are the list of the elements? You have 20, 125, 45, and 100. That will going to be entered here. Once you get this, now it comes to the min and max function is called. Once it goes to the call function, so it goes to the subprogram, that is definition def min and max. Yeah. So first what it does, first it will take the value of the index. Which is the value of the index? 0. Min is equal to num0. What is the num0 value? Is 20. So that will be assumed as the minimum value first. So min is equal to num0. That is the first value which will be considered. Once it considers the first value, that will be considered as minimum. We are assigning that as the minimum value. That is num0 is equal to 20. So minimum value is 20. Now A in num, for A in num, is the condition is true. Why A in num is condition is true? Because in the first iteration, the number what you have considered, what is the number you are considering? 20. Is 20 is available in the num list? Yes, the condition is true. That is 20 is present in the list. Yes, it is there. Then it checks. Is 20 is less than 20? Condition is false. So again it does what it does, it goes back. Then it takes the value of 1. How? A in num? Yes, that is the second element, because you are in a for loop. So once it goes to this, and then it comes to the second point, second value of the index. What is that? 1. So A in num, the condition is true, that is 1 is present in the list. Yes. Is 1 is less than 20? Condition is true. So now the minimum value will going to become 1. So it will going to, it will not go to, no, now the minimum value, previously it was 20, now it has become 1 now. Minimum is equal to 1. So once you get this, then is A in num, the condition is true. That is the 25 is present in the list T? In the list? Yes. 25 is present in the num list? Yes. Then is 25 is less than 1? The condition is false. Again it goes back. Then again it goes back. Then it is considered 45 now. Is A in num, condition is true. That is 45 is present in the list? Yes. So the 45 is less than 1. The condition is false. Again it goes back to the list. And A in num, the condition is true. Is 100 is present in the list? Yes, the condition is true. Is 100 is less than 1? Condition is false. Again it goes back. So once it goes back, you are tracking everyone. So once you have this, after 100, you don't have any other element. You don't have any other element. Then A in num, there is no other element, only these 5 elements are there. So it is trying to access the sixth element. Since there is no element in the sixth index, so actually, therefore, the no other elements are in the list. So its condition becomes false, then it comes out of the loop, then the minimum value in a list is 1. So this is how you will be able to get the output. So the minimum value in a list is 1. So once you get this, now then we will go for the maximum value. For a in num, if a is greater than max is equal to a, print the maximum value in the list is max value. Now how to do this now? So now you come to this. Now the same principle is used for the maximum value. Is max is equal to num 0. So what is the value of num 0? The num 0 is 20. So it will going to be assigned to the maximum value now. Max is equal to 20. So then a in number, what is that? A in num t. Then the condition is true. What does that mean? What is the num 0 value? The num 0 value is 20. Is 20 is present in the list? Yes, the condition is true. Then a is greater than max. That is 20 is greater than 20. The condition is false. So it skips this. Again, it comes to the second element. A in num t, yes. That is 1 is present in the list. Condition is true. Is 1 is greater than 20. The condition is false. Again, it goes to the next one. Then a in num condition is true. That is 25 is present in the num list. Yes. Is 25 is greater than 20. The condition is true. Then max will going to become 25. Now previously the maximum value was 20. Now it has become 25. Then again it goes back and goes to the set a in num t, that is 45 is present in the list. Yes, the condition is true. Then is 45 is greater than 25, the condition is true. Therefore the maximum value will going to become 45. First it was the maximum value is 20, then it won't take this because the condition is false. Then is 20 is greater than 25, the condition is true. 25 is greater than 20, the condition is true. Therefore maximum value was 25. Then it takes to the next value. Is 45 is greater than 25, the condition is true. So it takes the value of max as got a 45. Again it goes back. A in num t, a in num, yes, the condition is true. That is 100 is present in the num list, yes. Then 100 is greater than 45, the condition is true. Therefore the maximum value will going to become 100. Then again a in num, the condition is false because only we have 5 elements, which is trying to access the 6th element in the list, which is not there. Therefore the no other element is present in the list. Therefore it comes out of the loop. So what will going to be the output? The maximum value in the list is 100. So this is how you will be able to find the maximum and the minimum value in a list. Now how to write this as a program? So first we will going to write def min and max. So this is the definition of a function. Then we have min is equal to num 0. Initially I am taking that value as num 0. Minimum equals num 0. Then for a in num, condition is true. Then if a is less than minimum, okay, condition is true, then min equals a, okay. Then print, print the minimum value in the list. The minimum value in the list. Column minimum. Next. So max is equal to num 0. Same value. Same thing for a in for a in num, if a is greater than max, then max equals a, print the maximum value in the list. Max. Okay. Once you do that, next, now we will go for writing the main program. N equals int input, enter the length of the list, then num equals empty list for I in range n. Okay, element equals int input, enter the elements, then num dot append element. Okay, then print the list of elements are then you are calling the function list of elements are num, then min and max. Okay, min and max. So once you do that, now we will try to execute this program. So watch all the executions of the program. Enter the length of the list is 5. Elements, what I want is 21, 20, 1, 25, 45, 100. So the elements are 21, 24, 21, 1, 24, 25, 40, 45, 100. So you are going to get 1 and 100. So like this we can be able to execute this. Suppose if I say I will go to take 8, say for example, I will say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 25, 1, 16 or whatever it is. So it will go to take 1 is the minimum value and 50 is the maximum value. So this is how you will be able to find the minimum and maximum value in the list. Now we will going to try to execute how it will going to be considered by using step by step. So first it will comes to this cursor will going to jump directly to this, enter the length of the list. Now I will say 5. So then initially the num will going to have the empty list. You can see here num will going to have the empty list. I is equal to 0, first one. Element input, enter the element. First one I will going to consider as 20. I will type 20, enter. So the 20 is here. Now that 20 will come here. Now once it is appended, now you can see 20. Then I is equal to becomes 1. You can see I is equal to 1. Enter the element. So I will say 1, enter. Then append. So 20 comma 1 now. So you're going to get 20 comma 1. Again I is equal to 2. You will get element 21. I will say 25. Okay. Append that. So it becomes 25. Then again it will come to this. Enter the element. We will say 45. Enter. Again it will come to this 45. Again I is equal to 4. Input the elements. You will take 100. Okay. Append. So you will going to get 21, 25, 45, 100. So once I is equal to 5, it will going to take I is less 5 is less than 5. No, the list of the elements are, so whatever it is there, you will going to get this. Once you get this, now you come to this function. So once you come to this function, now you are calling this function. Once you are calling the function, what happens? The cursor will come to this directly. Now minimum value. So now what will going to be the minimum value? Minimum value, first it will going to be taken as 20. For a in num, the condition is true. So a is equal to 20, it will going to take. Is 20 is less than minimum? 20 is less than 20? No, it goes back. Now a value will be taken as 1. Is 1 is less than 20? Yes, the condition is true. So minimum is equal to 1 now. So the minimum value becomes 1. Previously it was 20. Now it has become 1. Then a, it will going to take 25. Is 25, 1 is less than, 25 is less than 1. The condition is false. Then a value will be taken as 45. Is 45 is less than 1? No. Again it will goes to the 100. Then 100 is less than minimum? No. The condition is false. So since there is no other element, so print the minimum value in the list. Minimum value is 1 now. Because the minimum value what you have is 1. So you will going to get the minimum value as 1. Then it goes for the maximum value. Maximum is equal to, now it is 20. Then a value first will be going to consider as 20. Is 20 is greater than 20? No, it goes back. A value will be taken as 1. Is 1 is greater than 20? Because the maximum value is 20 here now. No, then a will be taken as 25. Is 25 is greater than 20? Condition is true. So what is the maximum value now? The maximum is 20 now. It becomes 25. The maximum value is 25. Then a value will be taken as 45. Is 45 is greater than 25? Condition is true. So what happens to the maximum value? See now. Previously it was 20. Then it became 25. Now you are going to have 45. Again it goes back. So a will be taken as 100. 100 is greater than 45. The condition is true. Max is equal to 100. So there is no other value. Then it will come to this. The maximum value in the list is 100. So this is how you will be able to execute the program on how to find the minimum and maximum value in the list. Thank you.